Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is VIN 1030 and 1030. This is a 2016 083, which is ultra white with LA30 red interior. Has 94,000 miles and it is for sale at Carvana's internal dealer auction right now in San Antonio, Texas. It's set to run tomorrow, the 29th of June, 2026. And so by the time you're seeing this video, it will have sold, and I'm gonna put the price right here. Hopefully it's not too crazy, and you'll see why here in a minute. Production statistics. So there are 648 out of the 2,348 cars for the US 49 were ultra white. 361 had LA30 red interior. That is the most common color combo that exists, white with red. And so it's like 15 I didn't write it in my notes, 15.37, 15.38% of all of the US 49 production was this color combo. So that's like a 1 out of 10. So for 2016, there were 372 out of the 1,418 cars for the US 49 were ultra white, and 214 had LA30 red interior. So this car at its rarest is one of 214. There are a lot of them. This car was built on January 22nd, 2016. Its in-service date was July 25th of 2016, and it was engine number 2064716. Has options G4, which is the lighted front door sills, Mark Levinson orange calipers, and Z2, which is the trunk mat, cargo net, wheel locks, key gloves, things like that. Carfax, Epic VIN, and auto check. So Carfax shows this as a 4-owner, 1 accident on August 2nd of 2017 to the passenger front, and structural damage was disclosed February 26th of 2019 when it was at auction. And so a word on structural damage at auction. I have seen somebody that maybe left a jack stand or up at the wrong spot on a car, on a unibody car. It dented it a little, and they call that structural damage. Now, it's been the opposite too. So you can look at something buckled in like the rear quarter and it's hidden, something like that, but that typically would not be disclosed at an auction unless they're digging for it. And so it's probably somebody looking underneath, maybe where you jacked the car up, it's damaged. That would be something. When you see this car up for sale outside of a wholesale dealer auction, when you see this car for sale, that would be the first thing I look at, is get underneath and look at the frame, look at the jack points, and see if you see damage. And that's probably what the structural damage is. However, it was a long time ago. It was, what is this? This is 26. So it was like 7 years ago is when it was disclosed. And so we don't know much else other than that, but that would be, unfortunately, it affects the value of these cars too, because now it's a ding on the Carfax. Epic VIN shows this as a 5-owner, no accident car. It's not correct on either point. AutoCheck shows this as a 4-owner, severe structural damage reported. And I don't know where they get severe from, unless it automatically just assumes severe when they see structural damage. But 1 accident reported in August of 2017 to the right front. And then again in February of 2019, they report the structural damage showing severe. Previous sales. So this car was never officially on sale when it was new. I don't know if the dealer owned it. I don't think it was Lexus. I'm not 100% sure there. There's not a lot of info on this one for some reason. But it did have some services under its first ownership at Pep Boys. And so I don't think the dealer would do that. And I don't think Lexus would do that. So it's probably just an individual that either ordered it or something like that, but it was showing as a corporate car, so maybe like a fleet owned. I really don't know for the early one on this one. It was owned in California, Garden Grove, California. March of 2019, $46,000 with 36,000 miles in California, and it sold in May of 2019, so like 2 months. And then a couple months later, in July of 2019, $43,000 with 42,000 miles in California, and there they disclosed the structural damage. And it sold in December of 2019, so like 5 months for sale, to its 3rd owner. September of 2021, it was now modified. As you can see, it has the wheels and everything else. $54,000 with 56,000 miles in San Antonio, Texas, and it sold in January of 2022, about 4 months for sale. And now here it is, the end of June 2026 at Carvana's internal dealer auction. And so that means that a dealer will be buying it, most likely, and you will be seeing it for sale probably in the coming weeks or months. So now into the photos. There is a lot to unpack here, and there's a lot that's disclosed. So I'm just going to read off my notes here, and I'll show you some photos as I go. The structural damage would be the first thing that I would look at. It's probably just somebody jacked it in the wrong place. That sounds weird. Jacked it up in the wrong place and damaged something like that. On the disclosure, the rear bumper cover is loose, and it has an aftermarket rear diffuser, and that's probably what they're talking about. The left rear door is scratched. The right rear door is dinged. The steering wheel is very worn. The left front has a very heavy scratch. All four wheels have curb rash. They're also aftermarket. They're Advan racing wheels, not inexpensive wheels. The headlights are tinted, and it looks like there's probably prior water damage on the passenger side, because even through the tinted headlights, you can see the 3 chrome rings on the triple beams. On the passenger side, you can only see one of them. And so that kind of tells me that the chrome was probably pitted or damaged or something like that, but it's not reflecting the same way. And you'll see in the service history when we get to it, there's probably something wrong with that passenger front headlight. So the front carbon fiber trim on the bumper, it's pretty pitted. Obviously doesn't have paint protection film or anything. And the aftermarket front lip on just below that is also damaged. Looks like somebody added a Toyota V8 badge to the trunk lid. So the left of the trunk lid, that's probably off a Sequoia or a Tundra. The tires look pretty good in the photos, at least the rear tires. All of the carbon fiber trim on the interior is delaminating, because of course it is. The driver's seat doesn't look too bad. Don't see a lot of bolster wear or anything just from the photos. The front and rear brakes look like they probably need to be replaced. The center screen is cracked, and that's something that you don't see very common at all. The GSF does share the same screen as the GS350 with the 12-inch screen, so you could probably replace that with a used one, because if you want to see what just the cover is, the outer cover for that screen is like $600-700. It's on sale right now. But if you had to replace the whole screen, it's like $13,000. That's like decent Camry money for a screen. Something to watch out for. So now to the price. This car here, July 2026, 94,000 miles. This, if it needed nothing, which obviously is not the case, if it needed nothing, this would be like a mid-40s car, maybe low 40s. Subtract for the structural, so that does affect the value. I don't know how much that affects the value, but it does affect it negatively. Adjust for the cosmetic stuff, the brakes, and it probably needs some other things too. And as it sits, I would think that the first number in the price probably needs to start with a 3. And hopefully pretty far down on that. The opening bid at Carvana, and there are still no bids the day before the auction here. You get to pre-bid it, and some of these other ones, they usually have 4, 5, 6, 8 bids, something like that. This has none. And the opening bid is a little over $30,000 plus fees. Honestly, that's probably where I would try to get it to. But right now there's no interest in it, and we will see if somebody's gonna take it home. Service history. So it's not well dealer serviced either, at least of record. The last entry was almost 6 years ago, and it was about at 52,000 miles. So you're talking about like 40,000 miles ago. Under current ownership, it was either done DIY, it was done by an independent shop that doesn't report to Carfax or otherwise, or it just wasn't done. Looking at the condition of the rest of the car, maybe it wasn't done. April of 2018, the JLB recall was done. That's the high pressure fuel pumps. July of 2018, the 30,000 mile service was recommended and it was declined. So that's brake fluid, kind of a little more in-depth inspection. But on September of 2018, at 32,000 miles, they did do the front pads, front rotors, and they did the brake fluid there. So kind of caught it up a little bit. May of 2019, the low pressure fuel pump was reprogrammed. That's the humming or buzzing you hear in the back seat. So that's done. September of 2019, 43,500 miles, somebody smelled coolant. And so they put a borescope underneath the intake manifold and looked for the valley plate to leak or the water pump leaking, and they found nothing. So some kind of weird coolant smell went on, but it's no longer there apparently. November of 2019, the KLG was done. That is the GPS location reporting incorrectly. And they also did I believe it's called the EL1624. It is the navigation firmware update for it freezing, turning pink, turning black, the screen. And so this is supposed to resolve that. July of 2020, 50,000 miles, the spiral cable for the airbag, the steering wheel was replaced. I wouldn't call that common, but the video I just did earlier, it had the same issue, but the spiral cable, a lot of times if you're replacing the steering wheel with an aftermarket one, like the carbon fiber one's really common on these cars. If you don't install it back correctly, it will unwind, and then once you turn it full lock, it breaks the airbag, the spiral cable. So it was replaced here. Did the HVAC servo sweep also, so that's done, and they repaired or replaced one of the servo damper number 7, don't know which one that is. And then the last service, December of 2020, the ZLZ was inspected for dash replacement and carbon fiber trim. They verified and recommended replacing it, but according to TIS and some of the other systems, it doesn't look like that it was actually done. So that jives with what we're seeing. So the dash has not been replaced and the carbon fiber trim has not been replaced. In that same service, they note that both of the headlights have cracks in them. Doesn't say anything about water damage. Both of them have cracks in them, and they were recommended replacing the passenger side headlight, and it was declined. And you know, we know why. The headlights are $3,500 a piece, but there's nothing on Carfax after that. So what's not done? The ZLZ was not done. In-service date, July 25th of 2016. So you have like 3 more weeks, July 25th of 2026, worth of coverage to get the dash replaced. If it's sticky, deformed, delaminating, anything like that, get it replaced free of charge. The valley plate, inspect the valley plate. 60,000 mile service, don't see anything with that being done. That's the spark plugs and sort of in-depth inspection. Transmission service, TVD service, coolant and the drive belt, just kind of on age. Brakes, carbon fiber trim, and of course the headlights. So there's a lot to really consider on this car. There could be some expensive gotchas also. So that brings me to, would I buy this car? At $30,000, the opening bid, that would probably be where I'd have to be. It would make sense there because you're still gonna have to put a lot of money into it. And there's a lot of cosmetic stuff. The cosmetic stuff's easy to fix. It's just time consuming. Some of it can be expensive, but the big stuff is the maintenance. And it's pretty lacking in maintenance unless it's been done DIY or otherwise. So that would be something you'd have to look at. Since this is at a wholesale dealer auction, they're gonna remove anything that's in the glove box, service records, anything that has identifying information. So you're pretty much going to assume that it hasn't been done. So this needs a whole lot. Also factoring in the fact that it has that structural damage reported on the title. So that further, you know, it's not quite a rebuilt title car, but in the eyes of a lot of people, it's basically like a step above that. And so you have to factor that in. Don't treat it like a rebuilt title car, but it's pretty close to that according to a lot of people. And it could just be something like somebody jacked the car up in the wrong spot. Auctions are weird when they report that, but it's unfortunate because then it basically devalues the car because of reporting that, and there's no going back from that. So that is something you have to factor in, something you have to keep in mind when you are looking at this car as far as the values. So if I see this car for sale for like $48,000, you're out of your mind. In this market, they've been doing some weird things, and it's very possible that this car could sell in the 40s or 50s the way things have been going lately. So I guess we'll see. And again, the final sales price, I talked about it earlier in the video. So we will see what it sells for. You will know, I won't yet. I got another 24 hours to go. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you soon.